This is Peter Obi. You're watching NoireTV.
Everyone, my name is Rara Lay, and I'm here with my co-host Michael. Welcome to the Global Politics Horizon Show on NoireTV. NoireTV network showing across the USA on Verizon Cable Channel 269, Optimum Cable Channel 1100, and on Digicel in Jamaica. Today, we actually do have a special guest. He is Mr. Peter Obi. He is a presidential candidate from the Labour Party within Nigeria.
Welcome to NoireTV's Global Politics Horizon. The first question is, assuming that you are elected, let's look forward to day one. You've been sworn in and you've just closed the door to your presidential office. You're sitting down and adjusted your seat to your liking, and you grab the presidential pen. What are the top priorities that you tackle for day one?
Well, that's interesting. Thank you for assuming that I'm going to be elected. And what do I do from day one? And thank you sincerely for inviting me and for this opportunity. For me, from day one, I'll go straight to tackling the issue of insecurity. It's the number one priority, insecurity. But we are beset with a lot of other problems which needs to be tackled simultaneously. But on top of that list is insecurity.
So I also want to jump into another question here, and I want to make sure I get this exactly right, so pardon my glance down. But President Biden here in the U.S. approval rating has recently surged as he has made good on several campaign promises, such as relating to climate change, as well as student loan forgiveness. In the name of transparency, what promises should the public hold you accountable for against the next 4 years if they were to want to vote for you for re-election?
Now you're talking about 4 years, so it's not day one.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure that everything I promise is tackled simultaneously.
Okay.
And the promise is that, again, is insecurity, dealing with the issue of rule of law and order, in the government, bring stability in the polity, uniting the country, ensuring that there's a transparent and visible good governance, fighting areas of corruption, which will be visible and transparent, and people will see it, cutting the cost of governance, investing in human capital development, and ensuring that critical areas of infrastructure, like power, it seems to be tackled.
Okay.
And this, I've said, people will see, whatever we're doing will be visible, it will be measurable, people can see it.
And I think that's very important for it to be visible and measurable. So that's something that we can look forward to. So thank you. That's great to know. So also, anytime the question is asked, essentially, everyone always affirms that they believe in a more inclusive government. However, we've seen time and time again, whether it has to do with gender, ethnic group, physical ability, that action isn't necessarily taken. In your, if you were to be elected, what specific pledges can we hold you accountable for regarding to this subject?
What it means inclusiveness, for me, it is about, I said it before, about competence and capability. As governor of the state, of one of the states in Nigeria, I had, for example, more women working for me than men.
Okay.
Because they were competent.
Right.
So it's not a question of, it's not something that you're entitled to.
Right.
It's not an entitlement.
Right.
It is a question of, are you qualified?
Absolutely.
We have to be qualified to work, because I need to engage and work with people who are qualified, who are competent, who have the capacity to do the job they're given, not just because I want to balance everything. No. There's no balance in this time, because we're running against time. So you need to work with those who believe in your vision, who can help you to drive that vision, and will include everybody.
And so you did mention the youth, but brain drain is an enormous problem that Nigeria is facing right now. Many Nigerians abroad, including myself, dream of coming back home to build a home, to invest into Nigeria, to work in Nigeria, and contribute to it. However, many of us may be particularly scared due to the increasing violence that is partaking in the country. What is your action plan to fight against domestic terrorism in Nigeria?
I'm not worried about brain drain. There will be brain gain. Because they're going to come back. When we fix the place, you'll be the first investors who will tell the world that we're doing well now.
Right.
Because same thing that happened everywhere in the world. It is those who left Asian countries that went back and turned it around. So you are going to come back and turn it around. When we bring stability, secure the place, ensure that we entrench rule of law and all that, you'll come back. So it's a gain for us. It might be a loss now because you've seen. So dealing with the issue of terrorism, what I said, when we deal with security, we will deal with it aggressively. I might not disclose exactly what we're going to do.
Of course.
But some of the measures we're going to do is that we're going to increase the manpower within the security agencies, equip them properly.
Right.
Support them with the political will to deal with the issues decisively. Have a multi-sectoral policing where we have police at the center, policing at the state, possibly at the local government, and even in the communities where we have security. Deal with it aggressively. Yeah. It's not, like I said, it's been done everywhere, and we can do it.
Absolutely.
Are there any misconceptions about your presidency and candidate run that you would like to address at this moment?
Well, I don't think there is, except maybe people will say we don't have structures, but for me, that is what we want to destroy. We want to dismantle the structure because the structures that are there today are structure of criminality, structure of corruption, structure of inefficiency, structure of ineffectiveness. These are things we want to remove and bring in a movement that wants to take back the country, give it to the people, create Nigerians that will have faith in their country because they hope like her.
It is no secret right now that in Nigeria currently spends more than it earns. So that is a huge problem that the country is facing right now. I understand that you have plans to cut those expenditures, and I believe you spoke to that a little bit earlier before. But specifically, how do you plan on tackling this?
Not just Nigeria that spends more than it earns. A lot of other countries do the same thing.
Okay.
A lot of other countries are borrowing.
Right.
United States today owes about 80% of its GDP in debt. So everybody's borrowing.
Right.
Everybody's spending more.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong in spending more than you earn. There's nothing wrong in borrowing. It is what you do with the borrowing that makes the difference. If you borrow for investment, you will grow. The problem we have today is that we're borrowing for consumption. The coming society.
Yeah.
So I want to borrow for investment. And we're going to do that. Yes, and we're going to cut the cost of governance.
Okay.
And there's so many areas, I've done it at a state level, where we shut down everything. And people saw it. I was going on for 8 years. We never borrowed a penny.
Right.
We didn't borrow anything. We shut down the cost of governance. Not only did we shut the government, we became the only subnational state ever in Nigeria to start future savings. So by the time I left government, with visible again, measurable achievements we had, like in education, we used to be number 26 over 36. we became...
Was there be any specific plans for specific youth operations that you might have?
I just told you, ICT, entertainment, sports, small businesses.
Okay, those different industries.
That's what drives everyone. If you shut it down in America, there will be more criminality in America than there is in America. They'll be shooting shot on the street because they have more guns there on the street than we have. I can assure you. So the youths have the energy, and you need to put them to work.
Okay.
Nigerians all over the place doing incredible things, and we want to change it. We want to bring it home.
NoireTV, showing on Verizon Fios channel 269, Optimum channel 1100, and on Digicel. Or on our website www.noiretv.com, or download the app from the App Store or Play Store.